Welcome to the Tony Gomez Show. We are live right here, either watching us on Facebook or YouTube. And tonight, I have in the studio my friend Elijah Mendiola. How's it going, Elijah?
I'm doing great, man. Good to be here, Tony, on your good show, man. Awesome.
Man, thank you so much for joining me. Elijah has got a podcast that I love called the Lizard News Network. I've actually been interviewed on that show, and great shows that I've been able to catch, man. Excellent. And then as well as a fantastic, amazing musician that I've had a chance to jam with and had a chance to jam with my band Screwface and his band Empyreal back in the day. And man, it's just great to have you on the show, man. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
This is cool, man. It's so cool to see you on your show because we talked about the conception of the show. Remember,
Yeah,
hey, man, I'm thinking about starting a podcast, and I'm like, do it, awesome. And it's just good to see, man. I always see your shows on YouTube, and I'm like, damn, there he is. Tony's doing the podcast, and then you had freaking Mark Rizzo. I'm like, oh no, Tony
hello.
freaking hero. I'm like, oh shit, that's awesome. But yeah, man, you're doing it live. It's awesome.
Oh man, thank you so much, Elijah, man. And luckily, it just I've got some nice friends that have been putting in a good word for me, where I was able to get Mark Rizzo on the show, and you know, and a lot of other great guests that I've had. But Rizzo's super cool guy, man, and what a shredder! Oh my God, he's amazing.
That was a big highlight for me because I was like, dude, I love Tony Rizzo. Like, he's so awesome. And I always feel like he's underground, kind of. Like, a lot of people don't really know who he is, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, guitar players know who he is, obviously.
Right. They sure do. But, you know, he's got such a badass catalog of his own solo work. Just fucking Shreddy Krueger style, man. He just fucking... he's his own, you know, beast. And, you know, he's got his own other side projects besides, you know, doing El Nino. And I want to say Beast is one of the titles, if I'm not too wrong, man. Revenge Beast, it may be. Don't put your, I'm not going to bet my paycheck on it, but he's got some great fucking solo projects. And then he's also doing another gig with Tommy Vexed. Funny about that, you know, funny thing, because Mark's not doing El Nino, but Tommy's doing El Nino now. So it's what a reversal of roles when it comes to that El Nino window. And, you know, our buddy Marcus Leal, you know, our homeboy from Alice, man, he's not in there at all anymore. But big props to Marcus. He's on Swim the Current. They've got fucking 2 big singles out. Stay is their latest. And, you know, we just got some great talent that's been around here. And I've been blessed to be able to have some cool people on the show, bro. But
oh yeah,
I mean, you helped me get it started, man. From I'm trying to think, what's the fucking Scarlet? Just taking it back from the Scarlet setup and giving me the inside, and you know, I even bought my home computer from you to get things started off the ground. And man, just thank you so much for all your guidance and all your help.
It was good to help you, man. I knew that you had a good musicianship in Corpus. You kind of had like a, what would you call, like you were like the main guy, like as far as like the vocalist in Corpus. And I knew you like, oh, there's Tony. He doesn't know me, but I know who that guy is. You know, like you were well known. You were like a local celebrity, basically. And so I'm like, oh, Tony's gonna get some good people on the show for sure. That's why when you're like, I should start a show, I'm like, of course, dude, for sure. And so that's why I'm honored to be on here. That's cool, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you so much. Hell yeah. And I do feel very blessed to have so many good connections and to share the stage with so many badass musicians over, you know, more than a 30-year career here in Corpus. And it's just been a great ride, bro. It's been a great ride. And you've been on that ride with me for a little bit. I think we did at least maybe 2 or 3 shows back in the day when I had Screwface. And shout out to Jordan, you know, our guitarist back then, and Screwface. Your cousin, is that right?
Yes, I love Jordan. He is my first cousin. And that kid, man, oh, that dude was the shyest guy you'll ever meet in the world. Like when we were kids, we were all smoking dope and drinking. He's like, nah, man, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And so we just corrupted that dude bad. We're like, come on, Jordan, do it. Like peer pressured his ass. Like, he started to come around. And then now I'm like 100% sober. He's drinking. And so I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah,
And
but
as an artist, oh my God, as a
dude,
tattooist,
oh my
amazing.
goodness.
Holy shit,
I'm
amazing
not
work.
kidding. Like, because I used to go to his house a lot when I was a kid, like 10, 8, 12 years old, whatever. He was my
Yeah.
cousin. Hang out. That dude had a sketchbook. He blew me away when we were kids. Like, he was drawing like Donkey Kong perfect, Mario like in 3D, and I'm like, how the hell are you doing that, Jordan? And
Yeah.
I don't know, it was just like a weird, like a God-given talent. Like, he just knew how to draw really well. And then when he said, I'm tattooing, I was like, oh hell, Jordan, you're gonna freaking slay it. And
Yes.
have you seen his artwork? It's incredible.
It's incredible,
I
dude. Oh my
know. I'm like,
God.
I,
I would want him to give me a tat, man, because it's amazing.
yeah, it's shocking. Like, he used to. I
Yeah.
remember I go to his house. He'd have like a pig's foot on his table, like
Uh-huh.
a actual, like a pig's foot, and he'd be drawing on the pig's foot. And I came in there drunk a couple of times, and he just tattooed my legs. We were all guinea pigs, like me and a bunch of my friends. He's like, "Let me tattoo you." Okay, here, let me tattoo you. And like, he just kept going,
Yeah.
and it looked bad because he didn't understand like how to press and all that stuff.
Okay.
Like, the ink work was bad, but the drawings were perfect, but the ink work was bad. But
All
now
right.
he's crazy now, dude. It's like he's got to be one of the best in Corpus, I think.
I think so too,
Yeah.
bro. I think he's ready for like that Ink Master show, bro.
I
Get him
know,
out
man.
there.
Yeah,
Put him in there and compete him with so many other guys
for
nationwide,
real.
dude. He can
I
hang.
know, dude. But he was a good guitar player too.
I'm telling you, right? It's like,
Yeah,
what the fuck? It's just
yes,
like one of the many things he's good at.
yeah. We used to jam at his house. His mom would get pissed off at us because we'd have like a crappy little drum set and his guitar, and we'd go over there and freaking jam and stuff. And yeah, he just loved playing guitar too. And we all did. Like, even as 13 years old to today, we just wanted to be rock stars.
Hell yes.
That's all we wanted to do. And we thought we were dime bag in the room, drinking beer at 15 years old, playing the guitar, smoking weed. Like, yeah, but I don't know, man. It's just, you know how it goes.
I
It's well,
know, bro. I know how it goes. Yep. Yep. We end up getting married, having kids. You gotta have
yes,
that
yeah,
steady job, working those long nights. You don't have like time to kick back with our buds anymore like we used
I
to
know.
as much. Yes, bro. But you make time. You make time when
Oh,
you can. And but life happens, and you've really kept up with your passions along the way. And when things, musically, jobs, kids, they haven't really slowed you down. You always kind of
oh
make
man,
time to kind of make that as a part of, I guess, what you need to keep yourself satisfied and happy, right?
that's all it is, dude. Like, it was awesome to get a good job where I could actually afford the gear. Because
Yeah.
when I was younger, I had the shittiest drum set. I mean, like, you would laugh at the drum set. Like, that's how bad it was. But my dad, he bought me the Dimebag guitar, the
Oh
Washburn
yeah.
333. Dude, I still have that thing in pristine condition. And
Oh fuck yes.
yeah, dude, my dad bought me a full stack. He's like, here. I was like, what the hell, Dad? Like, he liked, yeah, he
Yes.
liked that I was in a band. Like, he thought it was cool because he grew up with like Santana and Jimi Hendrix and
Yes.
like Allman Brothers and all that stuff. So he was always like with me. I said, Dad, just give me this
Awesome.
$100 Jackson cheap black stock. Like, I was begging for it. And I went my birthday and I got a freaking dime bag and I was like, holy crap. The watch. Yeah. So I've been
Yes.
playing ever since. I got this badass Tama here. I was able to buy it. I'm like, I I went to Sweetwater. They gave me a credit card. They're like, you got $5,000 credit. I'm like, oh shit, here we go.
Oh yeah.
Swipe, swipe. So I started buying microphones, drum sets, guitars, just so I could get the lead out.
Yeah. Get the let out.
Yeah. Because I want to record music. I'm like, man, we used to have I had like an old cassette deck with like, remember when they had like two cassettes, like one on
Yeah.
each side? Yeah. So we got a shitty little microphone plugged in, one mic, and we would record us jam. And then I would flip the tape and then try to do like a solo on the other tape. And so I was,
Oh,
you know what I mean? And then I started like adding vocal, and I'd have to keep rotating tapes. And then it
yeah.
would be like just to try to get like a multi-track recording.
How genius.
Yeah. And
Wow, dude, that's good.
that's how it all started. Off of that cheap tape deck. I'm like, I have
Uh-huh.
to record music. I have so many ideas. And I just kept making riffs and riffs. And first it started with the tape deck. Then I got an interface like that Scarlett.
Okay. Yeah.
I had no idea how to use it. It took me a couple years to figure it out. Then I upgraded to a little Tascam, started recording on that. And then when I got my house, I bought a real interface, and then I started multi-tracking. And then that's how I get like those songs that I show you. They're like, it's just me. You're
Yeah.
like, who's the band? It's just me. I'm just, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow, dude.
Yeah. I told this dude, I showed this big YouTuber. I submitted my song to his YouTube channel. He has like a huge stream, and
Yeah.
I paid him to review my song. And
Okay.
he's like, dude, this is a badass song. He's like, man, your drums sound good. Who's your drummer? Like, he's like, is that a drum machine? And I'm like, no, dude, it's just me. Like he was like,
Yeah.
what the hell? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I just like to play all the instruments. It's just fun, dude. I fucking love it.
That is awesome, man. And you got to have a love for that, dude, to make it happen like that.
Yeah.
It's something that is very few and far between in any genre of music, and it just kind of just shows the almost the attitude like, hey, no one else can do it better than me, and to get your vision out, you know, you got it. You know what the guitar is going to go to and the drums and all that stuff. So it's hard to sometimes get that across to a band. I mean, it can work, but you know, it's just when you don't want to have time for a band, or those guys ain't available, you know. Luckily, where there's a will, there's a way, and you just putting your fucking will to the grind and picking up the gear and getting better. And now you sound like a full on drummer. You do.
I know. It's weird, right? Like that's what I hear a lot. They're like, "Damn, dude, you're pretty good at the drums," and I'm like, "I play guitar." Like they compliment me more on my drumming than my guitar. So I'm like, "Damn it," you know, because I've been playing guitar forever. But I remember the very first time I sat at a drum set, I could play it instantly.
Ooh, like I
could because I was always doing this, like, you know what I mean? I was always like, okay, there's a ride, and then you got the kick, and then I just instantly was able to play. And so
once you actually sat on the kit, you're like, all right, here we go.
I already knew. They're like, what the hell? And that was like when I was 13, of course.
But
nice.
All right.
Well, and now like when I play guitar, I record. Every time I play, I record. So next thing you know, I'll have like half a song, and then I'll have a whole song, and then I'll jump to another song. I'll have another song, and then I'll just keep, you know, doing that. And like you said, like sometimes the bands I can't get a band together, or my drummer can jam with me, but only once a week.
Yep.
And I have a bass player, but he never wants to practice because he's always drinking and hanging out. You know, it's like all this stuff. And I'm like, you know what, dude? I'm just going to make my own music. And if I ever get a band together, awesome. But I have to physically play the music.
Right.
Like it's something that I have to get out of me. Like I'm like coming up with these riffs, and I'm like, oh, what if this would be a cool idea? Or let me play with this time signature. Or let me play with my synthesizer. Oh, that's cool as shit. Let me make a song out of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'll just come up with these ideas, and they never run out. You know, they won't run out because I've been waiting for the day I'm like, oh, shit, I can't think of nothing. But it just keeps coming, man.
It just keeps coming. That's awesome, man. Check out. We got Dave Reed join us in the chat room. What's up, Dave? Thanks for joining us tonight.
Hey, Reed.
Hey. Well, I'll tell you what, let's get started on some questions that I got for you, man. So starting off, I want to first off, you know, start by thank you for having me on your podcast, the Lizard News Network. I had a great time on there, man, and it really kind of broke the ice for me. you doing the interview for me, and just an eye opener, seeing how you had things set up there at your place, and was just a great experience for me, man. Thanks for all that. And I gotta ask, how did you come up with the name Lizard News Network, and how would you say how would you describe your podcast?
So my bass player Brian has a brother, and he's always coming up with funny stuff. And we talked politics, right? And like he was watching CNN one day.
Yeah.
And he said he's like, this isn't the cable news network. This is a lizard news network. Because we call them lizard people. Because they're like, you know what I mean? Like they're wearing their suits, but we think like in real life, they're probably the freaking reptilian lizard people that live underground. Kind of as a joke, like as a conspiracy joke. But all the news people, man, they just say verbatim what they're told to say. They don't think for themselves. They lie constantly about, oh, you shouldn't do this and you should do this. And then you can like put all the clips of all the news stations saying the same thing. So it's just force-fed propaganda, man. And it just, we just call them lizards for short. They're lizards, like they're, and so and then I was like, man, I got all this audio equipment. I should just try and do a podcast. Because I had a lot to say, like with politics and stuff like that. So then I started like, you know what, let me start a podcast. And then I figured out I could find cool people to come on the show, like authors, flat earthers, people that died and came back to life, tarot card readers, ghost hunters, authors about just weird stuff, paranormal, anything that sounded weird and cool to me. Politics. I was like, I want to talk to those people.
Right.
So, yeah, It would be like a sparring match. Like I'd have them come on, and then I would talk to them, and then they would say stuff, and I'd be like, what about this? What about that? What about this? And they're like, huh. Because I'm always thinking about weird stuff.
Yeah.
So they were like very intrigued, like, oh, that's weird. Nobody ever asked me that before. Or like, well, what do you know what I mean? So it kind of got kind of popular. And I think one of my favorite shows was the Flat Earther, David Weiss. He's like a super famous
Flat Earth Dave. That's Flat Earth Dave, yes.
Yeah. He's like
great.
Yeah. And he's funny as shit too. And like,
yeah.
The show blew up. It had a few thousand views. It had like 5,000 views or whatever.
Hell
and it was just fun. Like, because I'm not a flat earther, but I'm not against it. So, I'm in the middle. Like, I don't know. It could be true. Could be bullshit. But it was fun because I could hit him with like hard questions, and then he'd laugh at me and say, no, that's not true, dude. Like, look at this. And like, he had like a slideshow. He was busting out like slides and everything. Like, yeah.
He's got all this proof and evidence, dude.
Yeah,
it's such a trip, man. I know where you're coming from.
He's like, he was showing me like the moon lander. It had like foil on it and like paper mache legs and stuff, and like this crappy little like. He's like, really, dude? Do you think that landed on the moon? And I was like, nah, I didn't. Sorry, it did. And so,
man. Yeah. Oh shit! I know that must have been an awesome interview, dude. Hell yes,
it was fun, dude. That guy was fun. And I talked to a guy that like he films stuff. He has a badass telescope and he films the moon. And he said there's weird stuff going on all the time around the moon.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. He recorded this thing called the lunar wave. It's like like if you're watching, I don't know how to explain it, like an old video and like a weird ripple comes down, like on an old video or something.
Almost like back in the day, you used to have something called tracking.
Yes. Kind of,
you had to fix the tracking to get that line to go away.
Yeah. So he would film the moon for like hours on end. Like he would like film it at night and then film it at night. And there were just these weird waves that were just coming across the moon. And it's called and no one's debunked it. No one knows what the hell it is.
Wow. The lunar waves.
Yeah, it's weird. Look it up. If anyone listening, check it out. And this other dude said that he went into, remember the Lost Ark, the movie Indiana Jones?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like where like at the end, like they go into that room and there's boxes everywhere.
It's supposed to be stored, and you'll
Yeah,
never
yeah,
find
yeah,
it
yeah.
again, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Well, I know. I talked to this dude. He said that he went into a room like that,
Oh
and because
fuck.
he was, yeah, and they showed him pictures of aliens. They showed him pictures of the other side of the moon. He said they have full blown bases over there. He
Oh
was just, yeah. He's like, no one's gonna believe you, dude. So
yeah.
I can show you this, and it doesn't even matter because no one's gonna believe you. And so that one was really crazy.
That's a good one, dude. That's a good
I
one
know.
right there.
Yeah, it's fun to talk about all that stuff. And
Yes.
yeah, so yeah, that's how it started, man. And I want to get back into it. Like I said, the golf has taken over my life, and so
Golfing is taking over your life. Oh shit.
yes, man, it's taken over my life.
It takes over
Yeah,
any free time you have during the day. What, daylight hours?
yes, it's either at the golf course or in here, freaking playing guitar. Yeah, yeah, it's like crack cocaine, man. Like you just
Yeah.
constantly you want to play golf, you want to play golf, you want to hit that perfect shot, you want to score low, you want to, you know what I mean? So it's
What is
like,
your favorite thing about golf?
hands down, like when you hit a pure iron shot, like
Oh,
like when you know the iron, the small metal ones,
yes.
if you hit that baby right on the button, perfect, it makes a loud crack, and the ball compresses and it shoots off the club, and you feel the vibration in your hands, and
Whoa.
you know before you even look up, you hit it perfect, and it just, oh baby, you see it fly exactly where you hit it. It's an amazing feeling, dude.
Is that that's just like the best pop that you can get to give it the most propel, to propel it as far as it can go?
Yeah, like when you hear someone say,
Oh,
"Oh, I flushed it," "Oh,
yeah.
pure," that means that you smack that baby perfect right in the center. Yeah,
Flush it.
yeah. When you
Yes.
flush it right off the ground, dude, golf is so hard, and
Yeah.
it's way funner than I could ever imagine. Um, I thought it was lame as a kid. I was like, golf, that's a boring, stupid sport, you know? But but dude, it's so fun. And it's expensive too, though. That's the only
I
thing.
know. Who, who
It's
who turned you on to golf? Who was the first person that you went
uh,
golfing with?
so my friend Andy and Brian, my bass player, remember when COVID happened?
Yeah.
Well, this is a crazy story too. Um, when COVID was coming out in China, I was listening to a lot of InfoWars, and
Yeah.
they're like, hey, dude, something's crazy is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Look at these videos that's going down in China, and we don't know what this is, but something is serious is gonna happen. Alex Jones was saying that, and
Yeah.
I was watching the videos, and there was like people in labs like, oh, what, yelling in Chinese, like, we lit it out and we don't know what the hell happened, but we got to contain this thing. And I was like freaking out. I was like, oh shit, like what is happening?
Right.
And everybody was just acting normal. And then what, Pelosi comes out on TV. Oh, you can go to Chinatown. Don't worry. Everything's fine. And I'm just like, oh, fuck. You know, that's a bad sign, you know? And
Yeah.
so I started freaking out. I got a container like with gloves and masks, and I started freaking out. I'm like, oh fuck, dude! They made a bioweapon, and they're doing their plan. Like I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, they're doing their plan, and I couldn't believe it. And so I started freaking out, and I started. This was before anybody wore a mask, anybody wore anything. Like this is way early, right? And I got wind of it, and so I was freaking out, prepping, and then eventually it came to the States, and then it got uglier, and then Trump was like, we got to try to close the borders,
Yeah.
and then Fauci was, you know the whole story. Fauci tries to, shut down the country, which is retarded.
Yeah.
Um,
That was like back in February or around
yes,
February-ish.
yes,
Yeah,
and then
because I know
Trump went
that's
to
when I
work.
finally stopped working.
Oh, really? Did they shut down your work because of that?
Yeah, they
Right?
finally shut it. It was like February. I want to say February 17th
Yeah.
to be exact,
Oh,
maybe. And
man.
we started hearing about this back in December. And
Yes.
with a little bit about it just kept on getting worse, and you heard a little bit more and more every day.
Mhm.
and it wasn't getting any better. It was only getting more scarier.
Yeah, they were scaring the shit out of us, dude.
Yeah.
And that was part of the tactic.
Yeah.
Was like scare the shit out of these people. Don't let them go outside. Lock them down. Fear. Every day they had the death count on CNN. This many people died.
I remember that.
Death. Yeah, it was just like pure, like I could just, the whole energy of the planet was just way off, dude. I felt like, you know what I mean? Like I could feel it, like what the fuck is going on? Like the energy was so, like the vibrations, like, because I've been thinking a lot about vibrations lately, like because your body like puts off vibrations. Everything is vibrations.
Yeah.
Like me talking to you is a vibration. The AC moving is a vibration. Everything is vibrations. And they say like when you're putting off like bad energy, it's like a bad hertz or whatever.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like you're putting off a bad vibration, and it affects people. You know what I mean? Like if you're being a dick like to somebody, and you know, you just get that weird feeling like, oh shit, something's about to go down, or people are mad. You know what I mean? Like it's a weird feeling.
Yes.
And that's what it is, dude. And I just felt that, like, dude, this is something's going on, dude. And but anyways, I said all that. That's that. I can keep going, but what started golf was I told my friend Brian, I said, Brian, this virus is going to come to America and it's not going to be good, dude. And I think people are going to be getting laid off and jobs, and it's going to get real fucking ugly. He's like, yeah, right, dude. That's impossible. There's no way. There's no way. And so one day we just had to tell everybody they were all laid off.
Yeah.
It was like, fuck, dude.
What the fuck, right?
I couldn't believe it. I was like, dude, I knew this was going to happen. I said it and I felt it, and I'm in this situation now. And it was like sad. I was like, fuck, dude.
Yeah,
like
it finally hit home.
Yeah, it was like 3 of us at work. And we have like a big shop with like 50, 60 employees. And there was like 3 of us left. And luckily I was the one that stayed, because I've been so ingrained in the company that they needed me, at least me there. And it was just sad, dude. I was just sitting there like, fuck, I can't believe this is happening.
Unbelievable. Yeah,
I know. And so that went on for a while. But remember when they said that we're going to give checks to people that don't work? Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, from the get-go, I knew that was a bad idea. They should have just said, we're not giving no checks. Everybody go back to work. Screw the COVID thing. It's all bullshit. It's just a flu. And if you have 5 comorbidities, you might get sick or you might die. The young people, the mid-age people that are healthy, go to work. That's what I was begging for the universe to do that, but they didn't. They just shut everybody down. And they said, we're going to print money. And I said, oh, fuck. And everyone knows what that led to. More inflation. We're going to have to pay that money back. Everything, all the prices went up. You got more money, less goods. You know, that's how it works. You print the money. You pump more money into it, and the money's worth less. And so I was like, damn it, that's a bad idea. So they did that. And my friends started coming to my work drunk, laughing in their golf clothes, saying, oh, we just fucking played golf, man. We're all drunk and we're just looking like they're having a good time. And I was like, you motherfuckers, you're getting paid to stay home more than me, and I'm just here at the shop.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, dude. So it looked like they were having a lot of fun out there. And I was like,
and that got you going into golf?
Yeah. They looked like they were having too much fun. And I'm like, that's not fair. I want to fucking go play stupid golf.
So they took you out there with them?
Yeah. They're like, get some clubs. So I got some crappy clubs. And then I bought some balls. I went out there. And you're going to suck for at least a year. You're gonna suck. But eventually you might hit that pure shot. Eventually you might hit a good one. And that's what keeps, even if you hit one good shot out of the whole day, you're going to talk about that shot for the rest of the week. Like, dude, I hit that beautiful shot and it went and it freaking hit the green perfectly. And your friend was like, yeah, dude, that was amazing. And
amazing.
So, yeah. And so that's what started it, dude. And I just got obsessed. And then we kept going every week. me and Jordan would go out there at like 7 a.m. and it's pouring rain and it's cold as shit. And we're literally out there like, oh, we want to play golf. And the guys are like looking at us like, are you sure, dude? We're like, yeah, we're sure. We're sure. And so we pay and we just me and Jordan just kept playing. And then now I go to a country club and I can play as much as I want for $350 a month. It's too much.
Sweet.
It's too much money.
Yeah, but fuck. It feels so good.
It's so fun, dude. Well, are you considering playing? Have you thought about it, or
no, man? I don't have any time to do anything else but make music and podcasts.
I know, dude.
And that's all right with me. I told my wife I'm a singing fool. I just love to fucking sing and sing and sing. So whether it's for Annihilator, War Cold, Fistful of Metal, my 2 tribute bands, the Pantera or the AC/DC, shit, man. I want to do as much as I can, and we're running into the Christmas season, so I got my Christmas band, the Harbor City All Stars, getting ready to hit the stage over at the House of Rock on December 21st. We got like 20 songs we're gonna do.
Damn.
And that one's got 20 people in it, so it's a 4-ring circus, that one right there. But
I wanted to ask you a couple questions, Tony.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, like singing, like I cannot sing. I've tried. You know that I can play guitar, bass, drum, synthesizer, lead guitar. I can't freaking sing, dude. Like,
what the fuck?
That's like the only thing I cannot do. Like, I try so hard, I can't fucking do it. So I wanted to ask you, like, how do you do it? Do you think it's like a natural thing, or were you taught, or do you have techniques, or like as far as like screaming and stuff? Like, do you have a technique? Because I think it also has to do with your tone of voice. Like, my voice is like mid, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not very low. It's just like you know what I mean? Like, and your voice is like a little bit like a lower voice. Do you think that plays part? So? Not in like a deep, like, but like,
right.
Like if I were to put mine in your voice like this, yours would probably be like right here, and mine's like right as far as like just regular talking tone.
Okay,
I think,
but I like that question, and you know, I only started singing because I wasn't a good enough drummer for the bands that I wanted to be in. And, you know, there was a better drummer than I was, and I was like, dude, I want to jam with you guys, but you already got a badass band. Yeah, but we don't have a singer. Well, shit, I guess they're like, do it, man, do it, just be the singer. So, you know, that's what kind of got me into that. But first singing, I was in the choir back in elementary. I want to say maybe about 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And ever since I can remember, dude, being in my mom's car, her little yellow Pinto, after my mom and dad got divorced, I remember listening to a KEYS, man, 1440 keys on the AM radio. And whether it's like Santana or like fucking Leonard Skinner or Barry Manilow, dude, I was sing along to that shit. So now when I hear Copacabana, man, it's like, whoa, that's the jam from back in the day. I remember cruising in mom's car listening to that one.
Yeah.
And yeah, just so, you know, I'm not the greatest singer. Hell no. But I fucking work my ass off. You can ask my wife. I'm always putting my homework in before the Fistful of Metal shows, and I'm doing 30 songs a night. Damn. And, you know, 30 songs is a lot of shit. And, you know, when you're doing the big 4 plus everything under the metal sun, I don't see anybody else fucking doing that shit. And I take a lot of pride in being able to do that.
Yeah.
Because I built myself up to that point. Yeah. And over 30 years, it's been a great fucking ride. It's been a great ride. And you know, it's been a progression too, Elijah, because getting into the first time I sang, it was like hardcore vocals, so it's kind of punk rock, and I was doing it while I was playing drums. So that was my first experience to be a singer in a metal band, and it was because the singer for my band, Aggravated Assault, Fractured Minority at that time, Arthur Layton, he got locked up for stealing a car, but I wrote all the lyrics, so I was like, I knew those words better than anybody else. So you know, little Chris Aguirre, told me, dude, fucking, I guess you're gonna have to get a headset mic. So I got a headset mic, started singing, and got comfortable doing that. And then Chris left the band to join Malignancy, what would become Malignancy, and that's when I wanted to follow his, coattail and say, hey, dude, I want to jam with y'all, but Tito Galindo's a badass fucking drummer already playing fucking Dave Lombardo shit like War Ensemble. I ain't got
That's
shit on
song.
that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
hard.
I got shit on that. And Tito was only 16. And I'm like, oh, fuck, that was the shit. But they didn't have a singer. So they told me, hey, I was like, that's my spot. And ever since then, that's been it, from Malignancy to Integrity for 10 years, Kill 'Em More for another 13, 14 years, cover bands for the last 15, 17 years. But when it comes to getting a particular voice, the most lately, started AC/DC tribute band. Wow, dude. Fucking Brian Johnson's voice.
It's like high.
Dude, I felt like I had to rip some fucking vocal chords in there to get to that point where I can do it where I'm at now.
Do you think after all those years of singing, do you think it has done that? Like where it's ripped and healed, almost like lifting weights?
Yes, I think it has, bro. I've had many nights, and I've had many rehearsals in a 1 week period when I'll rehearse 5 nights out of the week. And let's say 4 nights, and one of them is going to be the actual gig. And the repetition of doing a good 1.5 to 2 hour rehearsal, that many times during the week, man, it made it like a fist, dude. I was really, I took it to a place where I never thought it'd be. And, at one time I had a Killamora, I had Screwface, I had Rockenstein, Fistful of Metal. I had Vulgar Display of Power, and then I also played for Annihilator and Black Lung Conspiracy. So that was 7 bands I was rotating. Dang. And it just got way out of fucking hand, dude. Yeah. It got way out of hand.
I remember I think I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, just luckily, things happened the way they did, and I ended up leaving an Annihilator and Black Lung Conspiracy, and it was like I had all this time to myself now, more time to focus on the other projects, and that was enough. And even today, I still got 4 bands, and it's just one of those kind of things where I just love to sing so much, dude, that I want to keep busy. And luckily, I'm able to juggle it by some fucking crazy way. I'm able to juggle it and keep a good balance with all the bands, because to me, I think that's one thing I've really had to work at is to let each one of the bands know that when I'm there with you, you got 110% of me.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, you don't see guys doing, multiple bands because they don't want to. They want to be focused. They want to get that shit right with that one band. Yeah. And speaking like Dave, Dave could be playing with other bands too, but but War Cult is his beast. That's his baby. And thank God, because I wanted to be some of the guys' baby, because realistically we can get together one time out of the week or maybe twice, but I try and go for more. But even though I go for more, it don't always work out. I'll have a 2-week dry week where nobody can rehearse, and it's like, what? Yeah. But life happens. People get sick. An injury happens to a drummer's ankle. It happens, bro. And but perseverance and respect for my other bandmates keeps me where I'm at.
So throughout all those practices, does your voice hurt? Because sometimes, like, I'll be recording a song just a couple hours, and I'm like, oh, dude, like, I guess I'm singing wrong, or my vocal cords are nowhere near like you said, you like worked it into a muscle almost.
Yes.
So because you're doing it so much, it's repetition. You got to practice it, and that's why like my voice will crack. I'll like try to scream, and then I'll hear it like you know what I mean, like it'll crack, like it won't stay.
Exactly, you won't hold the note.
Yeah, I'm like fuck, I just can't do it. And sometimes I wonder if it's because my voice is too high pitched. Like I wonder if like in Cannibal Corpse, like Cannibal Corpse, he fucking screams like super low.
Yeah.
Like there's no way I could do that. Like even if I practiced, I don't think I could do it. So does your voice like hurt after all those like at the end of the week when you've done like 5 bands? Do you feel any fatigue from that, or is it just you just got it down?
That's actually that's a good, very good question. And you know, I like to compare it to Fistful of Metal because that's the most demanding gig right there, because it's 3 hours whenever we do these lives, these shows, and we got another one coming up here November 2nd, and it's you know, we take a break in between first and second set and second and third set, and during that time, what I normally do is stage wise, I'm always just drinking water. I'm not drinking any kind of alcohol. I want to keep my energy level high. But I will take a shot of Fireball right before I start singing, just to give it a little lubricant
Warm it a
and to kind of loosen me up a little bit. Just a tad.
Yeah.
One shot's not going to really do much.
Nah,
you know,
just enough.
but just a little bit. Maybe it's more mental, or if anything. But I'll do that, and also between the breaks, I'll have a cough drop, and the cough drop does fucking wonders.
Wow.
It lubricates my vocal cords again, where I can come back in and I can maybe hit those highs on 1 or 2 of the first songs. Literally, I'm telling you, maybe. And that's why I tell, you know, Steve Pedraza, shout out to Steve from Fistful of Metal. He writes up all the set lists, and we pride ourselves in not doing the same show whenever you see us. We've got over 100 songs under our fucking catalog, so it's a lot we can switch in and out. And I'll tell him, I'll see the set list, and I said, dude, it looks great, but can we put Madhouse maybe second song instead of 8th song in the set, because I want to get closer to hit those Joey Belladonna, you know, those he doesn't do too many screams, but he hits a lot of clean notes as he's singing, and I want to be able to deliver those. And you know, we do a couple of Van Halens and some Ozzies, so I like to kind of get those at the beginning. If you know, when we're doing we got rock and roll from Led Zeppelin in the mix, I want to hit those Robert Plant notes. So that's gonna be the first song in the set. So I strategically sing the songs in the set where it's gonna do me best. The harder song, Pantera and Slayer, put them at the end. Put the Panteras at the end. Slayer, he doesn't scream. You know, that's not what Tom does. So I'd rather have him like maybe in the 6th to 7th, 8th song range right there. But the harder songs like Mudvayne and Static X, put those at the end, man, because all you got to do is just fucking be angry and low. And, you know, it's a piece of cake for me. And as far as hurting, man, I think I just got my voice to a point where it doesn't hurt anymore. But back in the day, I think when I was doing those six bands at a time, it would be a pain in the ass when I would have to do a Rockenstein rehearsal the day after I did a Kill 'Em More rehearsal, because at Rockenstein is like Tool and Soundgarden. There's never anything hard going like that. It's all about hitting notes and sounding good. And that's just that style of music that we did. And so it would hurt, dude, because I wouldn't sound good. I would be all, you know, scratchy voice after that. And so when I would book shows, I would make sure that I would never do a Rockenstein show after a Fistful of Metal show. I do it vice versa. I'll take the clean show on a Friday for sure, and I'll do Fistful of Metal the night after, where I can handle, you know, the grit that Fistful of Metal needs. But yeah, dude, definitely I felt some pain, and I think it was just kind of ripping things up in there, and still loving it and giving some respect, going home and drinking some tea, you know, just trying to give it some love, man, and trying to get some sleep. Sleep is always one of the best things you can do as a vocalist. It's just rest your voice and save it for when you need it later, especially when you know that you're not a great high-pitched singer like myself, and you need every fucking advantage you can get. So yeah, man, sleep is probably one of the best things you do, and just preserve your voice throughout the day. And yeah, pain does definitely go along with it. And I think it's something I used to pride myself in Kill 'Em More. I used to tell the guys, you know what, especially when it came to Fidel on the drums, when fucking banging away, I said, yeah, dude, if it doesn't hurt a little bit, we're not doing it right. It's got to hurt a little bit. This shit, it's fucking hard. It's heavy. Yes.
Yeah.
You know, it was just something we kind of just would pride ourselves on, just pushing a little bit faster. That sounds good, but that sounds like somebody in the next room. Let's sound like somebody that's never jammed here before. Faster, bro. Woo! And so we would challenge each other like that. So it would always make for, you know, a better outcome for a better song.
That's awesome, dude. So like, yeah, because I remember Dimebag would say he likes to hear vocals like try their hardest and like crap out. He'd rather hear that than a guy like not going for it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like he wants someone to try and go for it. Like
the sincerity of getting it.
Yeah. Like he tried to hit that note, but it just boom, he just you know it's like lifting weights where you want to go to failure almost.
Yeah,
like you want to try like that type of thing. Yeah, that's cool. But that's interesting that you plan your shows around. That's why I was thinking that it was something like that, because a guitar is nothing like that. You just play the songs and you don't have to, But, see, I thought it went the other way. Like you would do like the screaming stuff, and then at the end you would like try to get but it makes more sense that way. Like hit the notes when you're fresh, and then towards the back end, then when you just have to do like the heavy screaming and stuff.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's cool. And there's one more other question I wanted to ask you. What do you think about like the scene in newer guys and like younger kids in like the style of music? Because I always look at Corpus like, what kind of music is everybody playing? And like, where are we playing at? And like, what kind of, is anything fresh coming in? Are people starting to get weird? Is it because me and my friend John always talk like, I'm like making all this weird like synthesizer prog stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, this is some weird shit. I'm like, I know, but I don't know. I just like the sound of it. It sounds cool,
Yes.
But the scene is more like just heavy metal, black metal, death metal. It's just awesome too. But what do you feel about like, are there new kids you're seeing recently that are coming up with weird stuff, or what are the band? Are there any new bands coming out recently that have popped up in Corpus?
Well, luckily, in this line of work that I do here with the podcasting, I'm able to bring in so many. I'm able to meet these guys, and it all starts by I got to see them first. I gotta want these guys on the show, and whether I'm at a show or another band, it just, I get out there and I see somebody, and I guess let me use this one band as an example. There's a band out there called Tortured, and I saw them at Andrew Elliott's birthday bash over at the House of Rock, and they had, I think it was Life Cycles was one of the headlining bands, and I love Life Cycles out of San Antonio. Fucking kick-ass crossover metal band that is just one of the best things to come out of SA. Well, Andrew had a fucking sick lineup of bands, and I wanted to see this band Tortured because their bass player is Kent Mays, and I've known Kent for a long time, and I would see him all the time over at TFC, and just killer fucking bass player, and I wanted to see him get down with his guys. And when I saw him, dude, their singer, Sebastian, man, he goes by Bass, just has fucking tremendous presence, dude. And they got this thing called like Big Killer Gorilla. And Bass comes off with on stage. He's built like a fucking gorilla, dude. And he fucking does that fucking shit like that. And it's the perfect time, dude, of the song. And it just, man, it was fucking, that was a fucking death metal show. And they're death, dude. They're more like deathcore. But brutal fucking, it's a 4-piece band. A guitar player's Jonathan Joseph, who used to be with Mutation back in the day. And Brandon, who used to be with Desecrated Remains, is on drums, man. A badass fucking drummer, Brandon. And then Ken on bass. And they do a lot of riffage together, but there's a lot of different riffage going on throughout the song. And that's what I like about what Ken brings to the table too. He doesn't want to play exactly note for note what he's playing. Right. And so I can dig it because I see it, and the stage presence was amazing from these guys. So I was like, I need to get these guys on the show. But at the same time, there's another band called Tilled, who bring such musicianship to the stage and emotion and great fucking vocals that it's totally a 360 from what these guys bring to the table.
Yeah.
And I'm in love with both bands. And
Right.
so I can say great things about the scene that we have today because I've met so many of the bands that are in there, had them here on my show, whether it's Wrath Upon the Skies, Empire of Ashes, like I said, Tortured, Womb Rot. Those guys in Womb Rot are fucking a fun bunch of guys. I love those guys, kicking ass all the time. Did I mention Empire of Ashes? Who else I had in here? Of course, Action Get Action. Just man, just so many great bands. You know, I've been able to get them in the show and kind of get to know them a little better. And when I get to know them, I have more respect for their game because I realize that that it's not by chance that I like these guys, but it's because I can relate because they love the music like you do, bro.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and it's for real for them, man. It's real.
yeah.
And whether the, you know, what I do with my other bands is what we do, and we're also individual in what we bring to our table. And when I'm able to see a band like Tilled that, man, they're one of my favorite bands here out of town, here in Texas, man, because nobody does what they do.
Yeah.
And that just shows their uniqueness.
Yeah.
And in a market where it's all heavy, you know, where it's all
Right.
heavy,
Everything. Yeah.
they stand out and
Yeah, yeah. I love to see that. Yeah.
they blend with all these bros. They're all their bros. So
Yeah.
there's so much love within this scene too that I gotta bring light to. That
Yes.
there's not a lot. There's no bullshit when it comes to like nah, dude, don't get those guys. I don't want those guys to play on the bill. It's always, it don't matter what kind of music you got. Let's get them on the bill.
Right.
There's a lot of camaraderie amongst these this younger generation of bands, and it's the 20-year-olds, it's the 30-year-olds especially, and
Yeah.
there's a few 40s, you know what I mean, but it's those 20 and 30s that in my opinion, when I was in my 30s, the Killamora years, that really prepared me for wanting to keep a career going after my 30s into my 40s and 50s. And so I'm seeing these guys in their 30s getting really serious, you know, like Marcus Leal, like a Don Pena on drums, that are just willing to do whatever it takes. There's no steady work at home. It's all about the road and the opportunity and taking advantage of that situation that may come on your you know, that appears for you, and you know, just taking the bull by the horns and showing that you are made for this moment. And it's inspiring that we've got such killers like Marcus and you know, the guys in Gratitude TX who are going like fucking West Coast to East Coast, fearless guys that are just spreading the Corpus Christi Christ core. And I dig it, man, because, you know, Christ is my savior, man.
Yeah.
And even though I don't sing about it, that's who I am. And for them to have that and be proud about it, and you know, have that right there on the shirt. This is who we are, and this is what we're proud of, man. I take a lot of pride and respect for them, you know, putting the religious beliefs right there in front. So yeah, dude, I'm so happy for all of the scene that's out there, and I'm blown away by the talent. These guys, you can tell that they fucking put their homework in, because they're doing sweeps and shit like that, and drummers are doing fucking all kinds of different rolls on their feet, and they're so fast, and it's like, fuck, that shit don't happen overnight. I've been there.
You have to practice a lot.
Hours of fucking of grinding and doing it by yourself, and you do it in a rehearsal room, and when you finally get like your double bass down, oh, it's like riding a bike. It's like, yeah, now I'm going. It's like getting your sweep down. Ooh, you're ready. It's those are special moments when you're a musician. And as a singer, being able to fucking finally sing, you know, maybe that song that you always that you always heard as a kid. Now you can sing it just as good as that guy. You know, it's a great feeling, man. If fucking, it's very empowering, and I think that's what's that's kept me so confident throughout my years, dude. Is that I found something that I liked, that I could do pretty good. and which is just
That's awesome,
make
man.
music with my friends.
Yeah, that's all we want to do. Like you're saying, like everybody's blending together, and all these good guitar players and drummers and stuff. They're like fingerprints. Like my music sounds weird, but it's my playing. And like I hear Reed, and I can tell who that's Reed playing. Or like if
Yeah.
I hear you singing, I can tell that's you singing. And so everyone has their own little style and technique. And I like to see people like just broadening their horizons. Like don't be afraid to like play this weird stuff or come up with these
Yes.
crazy riffs or because my music comes off kind of weird, off-putting almost in a way because at least that's how what I think about myself. Because you've heard my songs. I'll like add synthesizers and stuff and clean guitar riffs, and it's
Yeah.
kind of it's not traditional as a sense. And I'm always playing with like time signatures. I love to mess with time signatures. Like, what if I just write the song in 3/8, or I'll write a riff in 11/7, and like I'll write, you know what I mean? Like, and I'll be
Yeah.
sitting there counting and I'll be like, no one's gonna notice this, but I'm gonna do it anyways because I'm challenging myself to like learn all these things. So I
Yeah.
like
Hell
to hear
yes.
I like to hear other guitar players like in Corpus, like, oh, what's he doing? Oh, cool, I see that scale. I know what he's doing. Or like, oh, that's a cool riff. What rhythm is that? Or I'll start counting in my head what they're playing,
Yeah.
see where they're at. And
Uh-huh.
so it's just this weird like uh instinct I have of like because I like to listen to a lot of prog bands and stuff that's not real heavy per se, like clean vocals, but slow drums, but it's very technical. And so
Ah.
I like to hear music that's and don't get me wrong, like I love Slayer, Metallica, but Opeth, these dudes, when I heard these dudes for the first time, I was like, oh shit. I didn't know you can make a 9-minute song with super brutal death metal vocals and then switch to like a super clean classical guitar part. And
Yeah.
so they were like making these beautiful melodies and then it like morphed into like a death metal, like the heaviest thing you've ever heard, like in like a few seconds later, and you're like, oh, that's amazing. So that's when I
Yes.
started to like, oh, I want to do that. So that's when I started like adding clean guitars and like leads with effects and synthesizers because I wanted to see how crazy I could get and make a cool song. But
Yes.
yeah, and I like to hear like you're saying that band Tilled.
Yes.
Are they from San Antonio?
No, they're from here.
Oh,
They're from
really?
here. They look them up on Spotify.
Okay. Are the younger cats?
Yeah, dude. I want to say the guys in Tild are probably shoot, maybe later 20s.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
that's why I was curious. I'm like, are younger kids? Because I know it's like you guys and then me, like in the 30ish range, like 30, like early 30s to late 30s range. But
Yeah,
I haven't heard any like new kids, like or new bands, like coming in,
right.
like starting new bands. Like, are people even still making bands? Like,
No,
you know what
good
I mean?
point.
Like, what the hell's going on? Like,
There's another band that I just had play with me at the Baldy's Metal Brotherhood a couple of weeks ago. I really dig these guys, dude. They're half from Alice, half from Robstown. They're called Excess, and they are a rock band, a hard rock band, dude. And not, but they do it with in the veins of like fucking Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses,
mhm.
with that kind of sex, drugs, and rock and roll attitude.
Oh,
And they got some hits. They got an
really?
EP they just dropped, and dude, they got some fucking hits. I really
Wow,
like them. I know the chorus to a couple of their songs already.
dang.
So yeah, dude, I really like these guys. So that's just an example. They're young kids, 18,
Yeah,
19, 20,
wow.
and they're already doing it right, dude. So it's
Yeah,
like, fuck.
that's
It's
cool.
inspiring because it's
It
like these guys
is.
are fucking good. And so
Yeah,
they would go great with like my AC/DC tribute band, having a great rock band like them come on before
right.
us. I told them we'll make that happen. But
Yeah,
yeah, dude, they're definitely young kids out there that are making it happen. And shows that I'm not even catching. Some other shows
yeah.
that have younger guys or bands called like Parasite and
Mm.
Centipede and another one called
Centipede. Is that a
Centipede, dude.
corporate band?
Yeah, that one
I
actually
like that band
features
name.
it features Hector Juarez, the singer from Knife Party, the Deftones tribute, and
yeah.
like the Serpents and Saviors and Periwinkle Massacre fame.
Mm.
His son plays for Centipede.
Wow.
So it's badass already, dude. His kid's already
Yeah.
jamming. Fucking yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for him. And another band is called Spread of Corruption. Their guitar player is the son of Jerry Moore, who plays for Sweet Daddy. So it's like the next generation is coming up, dude. It's cool to be able to see our kids come out there and start jamming, and now we can kind of open some doors for them, and we actually can let them borrow some of our gear here, use Dad's guitar, But I'm sure that's been going on the whole time. That's why he's where he is now. But just really inspired by the great people that we have in the scene and the music that's starting to come out of here. And real bluesy guys, like there's bands like Heavy Soul, and those guys. That's a 3-piece band right there. But man, those 3 guys come off like they're fucking ZZ Top, blues. But man, I want to say Raul Ayala is the guitar player, dude, and he's a badass blues guitar player that can sing and play at the same time, dude. It's like watching guys that are like, man, you can see where they're gonna turn into like another Jimi Hendrix of their own. Jimi Hendrix ain't maybe that's the wrong connotation, you know what I mean? But maybe it's just they're that fucking good. And it's like, dude, what the fuck? I gotta meet these guys. So when I see them, I make time to go over there and say, hey man, that's a great fucking show, dude. I love that song. And my name's Tony. I got a show, man. I'd love to have you on. And they're like, yeah, dude. Okay, cool. And so, I'm hoping to get some of these guys on here on the show eventually. But when you see that kind of talent, like myself, I got to stop. I got to say hi. I got to recognize them.
Yeah, for sure, man. So like, it's weird because like the blues, like I love the blues. I'm a huge Hendrix fan. Gary Moore is my favorite.
Oh, yes.
That dude can make you cry with one note, dude. You can just feel the pain in that dude, man. And he's just like, what? You're just like, oh, man.
I know. Yes, hold it.
Make you cry, dude. It's like, damn. But it's weird. And so, like, one day I went to Guitar Center. I'm like, I'm going to buy me maybe just a starting, like a Les Paul.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start because I love the blues. And I'm going to start recording blues songs. And I pick up the Les Paul and I start to play it. And no blues came out of me.
Oh, shit.
It was just like, it was like weird, like somber, because I kind of like the sound of like depressing music. Like, so I'll play like some like depressing, like lead guitars and depressing chords and shit. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, maybe I don't have the blues in me. Like, maybe, you know what I mean? Like, I was kind of shocked. I'm like, I know blues scales, I know blues chords, but my brain or my heart or whatever is telling me to do this instead.
Yeah,
so
all right.
It's so weird, And then that's when I realized, I said, damn, I guess I'm not a blues player. So, but it's weird how that is, right? Like some people, like when they pick up a guitar, they want to play this, or they pick up a guitar, they want to play that. Or like I'll play a chord that this dude's never heard, and this dude will play faster than me, but I'll make this weird guitar shape with this weird chord that's hard as shit, but this guy's strumming faster than me. And so it's like, you know what I mean? It's so wide variety that's what's beautiful about it. Like I can make like all this weird music and there's room for that. And then I can make a death metal song, or I can make a weird classical guitar song. And that's why I never run out of ideas. Cause like, okay, today I'm going to write a song in 3/8. Tomorrow I'm going to write a song with 5 different time signatures. The next day I'm going to write a song with no clean parts and 20 riffs. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm just bouncing these ideas around and I'm just like record. But it is hard to find like musicians for me. I don't know anybody who can sing besides you. I can't see. I can't see for shit. None of my friends can. But see, that's another thing. Like you have your friends in your scene, right? And y'all are all a certain age. But I'm like a class lower. I'm like I'm in a class lower. So I know some people in my scene, and it's kind of like age groups. And I wonder if like that's why I was asking about the younger guys. Like, are there younger bands coming around? Like I haven't really seen any younger bands, but it is I hope that new bands are starting. You know, I hope that people are still playing in bands because it's just fun, man. And it's good for kids. And I love doing it. I'll do it till the day I die. I'll probably play the guitar the day I die, literally. You know what I mean?
Yes,
And,
hell yeah. Yeah, don't worry
yeah,
about it, man. I'm telling you, I'm rest assured there's some great talent out there. And I know sometimes it's hard to make it to some of these local shows, but if
yeah,
you find yourself having maybe a weekend where Slam Master Booking, especially Slam Master Booking, I'm calling them by name right there. Or Kill Crew Booking is also another good one. If they put a show together, whether it's at Boozers or someplace else, go out there and check them out, man, because they've
yeah,
been putting good shows together with regional bands from San Antonio, Houston, and also pairing them up with our local bands. And they've been turning out fucking great shows. Rough shows, dude. Don't get me wrong. It's a rough crowd. It's a hard crowd, but don't worry about it. It's all right. It's
yeah,
always
yeah,
been kind of like that here in Corpus. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's always kind of like it's always been a little rough when Slayer plays. Wherever they play at fucking the pavilion or the main stage, there's fights, dude. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, the good news is I don't drink no more, so I'm able to just be like, hey, calm down, relax.
right? Yes, dude.
I'm not like, what the fuck did you say?
Right. Give me a fucking
Yeah.
another beer. I'm gonna fucking go at it. But
That's how I
yeah,
was.
definitely go check out one of their shows, whether it's Kill Crew Booking or Slam Master Booking. They're putting together, those are local promoters putting together great shows. So
Yeah,
shout out to those guys, Andrew and Jess and the guy Patrick from Kill Crew, doing some great work. And just want to give a shout out. We got Vanessa from the house. Vanessa, old school right there. Always used to serve the best drinks over at Zeros. Thanks for checking out the show tonight, Vanessa. Hell yeah.
thank you, Vanessa. Yeah.
Let me ask you this real quick. When it comes to podcasting, do you have a bucket list? Is there like a top 5 guys that you would still like to get on there that you haven't had?
I would love to talk to Sam Tripoli. Sam Tripoli is a comedian. He has a podcast called Tinfoil Hat.
Oh, he
And
does the tinfoil hat.
yes,
Okay.
and he is so funny, dude. They did a conspiracy show in Corpus. Eddie Bravo was there. Eddie Bravo was like a hardcore flat earther, and he's a black
Wow.
belt jiu-jitsu master. He's like Joe Rogan's best friend. And
Whoa.
him and Sam Tripoli were in Corpus. That dude, I would love to talk to. Mark Rizzo, I would love to talk to.
Yes.
I actually, before you got him on, I had this weird feeling. I was like, I wonder if Tony's can get Mark Rizzo, because I know that some people in his circle.
The El Nino guys.
Right? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yes. And when he joined El Nino, I was like, damn, I wonder if Tony's gonna get Mark Rizzo. And sure as shit, he did.
Hell
Yeah.
yes. I was like, yeah, man.
That's
Yes.
freaking awesome, dude. Sam Tripoli, Alex Jones, that will never happen. I would love to talk to that guy.
Alex Jones, yes.
There's some bands that I really, really love. There's this band called Contortionist.
I've heard of them.
Young. They're young, dude. They're probably like in their early 30s.
Yeah.
And they make the most badass, smooth, great vocals, technical, syncopation, all these crazy rhythms. The drummer plays so slow, but you can't do it because it's so hard, but it's so slow. And he's like, you know what I mean? Like,
it is hard to play
he's
slow.
putting the snare in the weirdest pocket, and
Yeah.
I'm hearing it, and it's one of those songs where you hear 1,000 times and you still don't know where the snare's at. Because I'm always listening to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm listening to the drummer. Like in Slayer, you know where the drum's at.
Yes.
You know that all day. You know what I mean? But
Yes.
this dude's like, I'm going to put it here. Pat. And you're like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Oh, I didn't see that coming. Oh, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I love to hear that because it's constantly, it's challenging my ear to listen to say like, dude, okay, I see what you did there. Or like, oh, that's beautiful how you're playing that. Cause he's like switching the rhythms. And like to me, for
I
some
like
reason,
when you can hear that, right? You start listening
I
how
love
they
it.
switch. Yeah.
Yeah, like he'll do the snare on the 3, but on the next bar, he'll put the snare on the 3.5.
Yes.
And then he'll go back to the 3, and then he'll put it on and like he'll just dance around with it. and they'll be playing in weird time signatures. And it, to me, like lately, like the thing that's really making my ears stand up is that stuff. Like, 'cause,
Yeah.
like we've listened to Slayer a billion times.
Right.
Metallica, we've heard Metallica a billion times. I remember when I used to think Lars was the greatest drummer of all time. And like
Back when, right?
when I was a kid, when I was like 13, I'm like, Lars is the greatest drummer in the world.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, dude, Lars ain't even close, dude.
Not even
Not
close,
even
bro.
close.
Golly, there are
He's not even
monsters
close.
out there.
I know. There's
Holy
crazy
shit.
monsters out there. And the reason I bring up the younger generation is because the younger kids are coming up with crazy shit.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yes, bro.
like, did they all
back in the
go to
day we had,
Berkeley?
that grind, that napalm death grind
Yeah.
back in the 90s.
Yes.
They come
Yeah,
out
like
with all different they've got like probably about 10 different forms of grind nowadays.
yeah, it's crazy. And like it
Yeah.
sounds like all the musicians are going to Berkeley and shit. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, I know about the A minor substitute 7 chord over the G flat major
For
scale.
real.
And then you're just like, what? And they're like, yeah, the
What?
7 times mode with this. And you're like, oh, hold on. You know what I mean? And so to me, that's like amazing. I like to hear like, have you heard Animals as Leaders? Have you ever heard of those guys?
Yes, yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
Right.
What are they doing? The drummer's like, you can't possibly copy what the drummer's doing.
Exactly,
Like,
bro. You
he's
can't.
hitting so many ghost notes. His timing is so crazy. And the dude went and got like a degree at Berkeley. So
Yes.
they're not like jamming anymore. They took it to like a whole nother level to where they're like, like Slayer, they were jamming.
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
they were
Yeah.
fucking jamming. Like, we know these couple of chords. We can fucking come up with our solos. And the drum beat's fast and loud. And it's badass. And it's heavy. But now they're like doing like these weird slap chords. And it's just gotten so out of hand. It's these dudes are like on a whole nother planet. And the more like it's like the more I look into it, I see how precise and technical these bands are playing. Like, they're not just
Yeah.
jamming anymore. They're not like, I could easily cover a fucking Metallica song or a Slayer or Pantera. Of course, I can't. Dimebag had a signature solo that nobody could ever copy. He was amazing, and the dudes are amazing. But as far as like techniques and stuff and like time signatures, Dimebag wasn't doing that shit. He was like, I don't know. I just know this badass. And it sounded amazing, right?
Yes.
But these guys, they're blowing my mind. Like, Animals as Leaders is blowing my mind. The Contortionist blows my mind.
Yes.
Pliny, he's really good. He's technical. Dream Theater.
Yeah.
Dream Theater's
Still doing it.
dude. I got tickets to go see Dream Theater. Mike Portnoy just joined the band again.
Yes.
For like
Yes.
16 years.
Those guys are probably the head dogs. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
in their scene right there.
Yeah, they're the top dogs of Prague. They just released a new song. It's unbelievable, dude.
Oh,
There's
shit.
like, it's unbelievable. Listen to it, dude. It's called damn it. Just look up like new Dream Theater song and you'll hear it. But it's like there's barely any vocals, and the song's like 10 minutes. Like, he has like a verse and a chorus, and then there's like a 5-minute musical bridge. It's like it's insane, and then they do like the verse, chorus, and then it's done. But
Killer. I'm gonna
the
listen
bridge,
to it. Hell
dude,
yeah.
you have to hear it. You're gonna be like, holy shit. It's crazy, dude. So I'm more of a prog guy. Like, now I've kind of, my musical taste has evolved like into prog. Opeth is huge to me. In like Dream Theater, of course. Dream Theater is like on another level. But yeah, I've just been listening to that shit. That's probably why my music sounds so weird. It's because I'm listening to all this crazy shit, and it like influences me.
It's all crazy good, man. It's at a whole nother level, man. It really is. Mm-hmm. And it pushes the envelope. It challenges the listener, and it makes it so pleasurable to hear when you've heard it all.
Right,
you've heard it all, man. And that's how it is. We love listening to all the music. We love all the bands, but sometimes you just got to hear that other band that Like, wow, no one really does it like them, dude.
Yeah.
There's a band called, maybe I don't know if I can pronounce it right. Allegeron.
Allegeron.
Am I onto something? And they do a cover of Subdivisions
Ooh,
from Rush that
yes.
is fucking metalized and
Oh, I
progressive.
think I have heard that.
Like,
Oh,
holy shit.
I think
And
that's in Sephirum. Is it in Sephirum? It's like a Viking band. I
no,
think
it's not them. No,
no,
it's
it's not
not
them.
them.
Okay.
No. But they blew me away. And they also do the song from, I want to say it's from Yes. So they're taking on the progressive greats,
Yeah,
Yes and Rush, and they're
right.
metalizing these songs, man.
I know.
It's just like, wow, I love it. Love that shit.
I had an idea to do an acoustic version of "Fucked with a Knife" or "I Come Blood."
Oh my
The
god. That
I
would
want
be
to do.
sick.
I know. I want to do a Cannibal Corpse song, but
Yeah.
do it with fucking like an acoustic and like singing like clean vocals.
For
Wouldn't that be hilarious?
clean vocals, yes.
Like
Oh shit.
Hammer Smash Face, but with like clean vocals. Like,
Oh man. I
yeah,
think
that
that
could
would
be
be
funny.
funny,
It
dude.
could be funny.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like that Richard Cheese. You remember, you heard of that guy, Richard Cheese, that just how he gets these like all the classic rock songs and he does them but lounge music.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He calls it
Yeah.
a lounge against the machine. And it just done so well, dude. The lounge music
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the parts where he's screaming, it's a song. It just has a great lounge
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
Love. I
Fuck
can never
you,
get enough of that shit too.
Yeah. I know it's weird, right?
It's just a
Yeah.
nice twist to the ordinary.
Yeah, that's the beauty of having my own studio. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Fuck yes.
Like, it went from a tape deck with a shitty auxiliary mic to like having a drum set with 16 mics on it. And I'm like, you
Yes.
know what I mean? I'm like, yes, this is awesome. So yeah, I'm doing my music here in the studio. I got John jamming with me. Well, I went to your show when y'all were gonna play when your drummer got hurt.
I know we flaked. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's cool. But I was going to see you guys in Votan, and
Votan. Shout out
it's
Votan.
yeah, Votan for sure. Robbie and John and their bass player. I've been one. I haven't been to a local show in a long time, and so I was like, you know what, dude, I want to go to a local show and just check it out.
Right?
And
Fuck yes.
and I went and I kind of started getting the itch again, and I'm like, damn, I remember I used to play some local shows. It was fun, like. And now I'm talking to John. I'm like, John, I think we need to get a band back together and start playing some shows again because we're hitting stride. Like we're making cool songs. And I'm just like, dude, we need to really freaking find a damn guitar player or bassist or something like that, you know? And I will sing if I have to. Yeah, I will sing if I have to. But the difference between then and now is back then I didn't really care about singing. So I did it because I had to.
Yeah.
But now I'm actually trying to sing better. Like I'm actually taking it a little bit more serious. I'm like, because I'm recording these cool songs that sound like well produced and all that stuff. And I'm like, I remember, like I showed you that song recently. What do you think about it, by the way?
That's a great song, man. That's a great song. I think with the right vocals on there, you got a hit.
Yeah. So, and then I tried to sing over it. And I'm like, oh, I don't like this. And then like I try to do like heavy vocals, and my voice is like struggling. And I wish
hear on that is and maybe it's just my ear because I kind of want to do something sort of like that because I'm a big Tool fan. But I hear like some Maynard vocals where it's clean, but we're not trying to hit some kind of high note that's beyond our means, and you're still singing it in a way that it's very very easy to get a hold of and to relate to.
That's interesting that you said that because when I did the vocals, that's almost explaining it like you heard it. Because that's what came out of me too. I was like singing, but I wasn't like going too crazy and I wasn't screaming. I was like trying to sing. And like towards the end, it actually kind of started to sound kind of like Tool. And I was like, oh, that's cool. It has like a weird Tool vibe to it.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's
I think that's great, man. That don't you of all people are not gonna. You don't have any nothing holding you down. But you know, sometimes when people are getting together with new music and trying to share their ideas, saying a band's name like Tool or Metallica, let's do something like that. Sometimes the opposite, the listener can be like, but I don't want to be like Tool, or I don't want to be like that. I said, no, I don't want to be like that either.
Yeah.
But I want to capture some of that little magic that they bring, that his voice brings to the table. You know, Maynard's voice brings to that incredible fucking band, and that's how I can hear on your track.
Yeah.
You know, that's how, if I was to approach it, I would approach it in that manner.
Right.
And because it's a song that is very, you know, there's different layers to it, and it's so interesting and not predictable, but you got some, maybe there's a little bit of repeat in there, right? But there's so much room for vocal interpretation, where without having to, try and, hit an Iron Maiden kind of, Bruce Dickinson kind of note, and still come across with some great fucking power and passion.
Yeah. Because sometimes, like, when I could come up with the whole song with a small little idea.
Yes.
Like, I'll hear like a guitar riff, but I'll notice, like, oh, that's cool. He added one extra note at the same riff at the end.
Yes.
And I would say, you're not copying him. You just like that idea. It's an idea. And so you'll make a totally different riff, totally different everything, but you'll have that same little, like, oh, I did this. I added this little extra part. And so I can pull, like, as an inspiration, like, I'll hear something cool and I'll be like, oh, I love the way they made a riff.
Yes.
They only did it 3 times, but the next time they did it 5 times. And, like, I'll just take that idea and I'll do that. And I'll be like, oh, that was cool. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you know how it sounded. It's like, man, that's good. I got to place for that in this song. Make it work. Yes, man.
Yeah. Or like they'll change time signatures. Like, they'll play a 4/4 and then they'll squeeze in like a one riff in 3/4. And so, that's neat. And then like, you can just play with stuff like that, as a guitarist, but a lot of people, they're not really thinking that deep into it. They're just like, oh, let me make this riff or whatever. But, and it's both good,
Right. You get a lot of great stuff out of the simplicity of things as well.
Yeah.
What is it going to take to get you satisfied, though?
Exactly. Like, what's getting me off today? Yes, exactly. Like, what got me off yesterday is not the same thing that's doing it for me today. You know what I mean? Because even the other day, I found my old tapes on that old Tascam that me and John were recording. Dude, we were playing so fast and we were playing these crazy riffs. And I'm like, was I better back then than I am now? like I just, I played more like that. Like, I didn't have a click track. I wasn't thinking about time signatures. I wasn't thinking about any of that. I was just riffing. And I was putting the songs together. And I was like, damn, that's cool. Maybe I should do some more like that. Because I'm always analyzing the shit out of, like, the time signatures and the riffs and the scales. But sometimes it's good just to go back to just simple, just jam,
Yeah. And I think when the time is right for that.
Right.
When the jam hits you and it's like, hey, well, that's good. Yeah. It was great already like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, like I said, that's the beauty of having my own studio. I can now and forever just come up with ideas. And me and John are coming up with some really cool shit, dude. And I always say, I'm going to write the most heaviest song ever right now. And it doesn't turn into that. It turns into something else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, that's weird. Like, I know, like, I guess I can't fight my own instincts when it comes to playing,
You're right. It's instinctual.
Fight it. Yes, I can't fight it. Like, my brain is telling me to write this heavy shit that I love, but I end up writing something totally different. I'm like, what the fuck? That's not what I set out to do. But I guess maybe my mind's in it, because I love Opeth. They're fucking heavy as hell. Yeah. I love Winter Sun. Have you ever? Winter Sun is like fucking full speed, crazy guitar leads, screaming. but when I pick up the guitar, that's not really what comes out. So
all right.
Yeah, it's weird.
I've seen the name. I haven't heard the band yet.
Dude, those dudes are gnarly.
Oh shit.
They used to be called Empyreal. They were a Viking metal band from Sweden. And
Oh shit.
Yeah, all the songs are about like going into battle, forging iron.
Fuck yeah.
Saving seas.
Viking shit.
Yeah, like
up,
yeah.
Saving the maidens and shit.
Yes, Viking shit. And they would wear like kilts.
Oh,
and they would wear like armor and shit. And, like,
they're for real.
Yeah, they're for real. And that band was so sick, dude. And like all the album covers are like Vikings, like on ships.
Fuck
like,
yeah.
Dude riding a horse. Like, yeah, dude, this is badass.
That's fucking metal, dude. I love that Viking stuff, bro.
Yeah. I wrote a song called Bloodwind, and it was a Viking song. And when I pulled up those old tapes, it was on there. And I completely forgot about that song. I'm like, dude, we need to re-record that song in here because that was a badass song. And
that would be killer.
I know. John's like, let's re-record every song we ever made. I'm like, dude, that would take like 4 years. It would take so long.
Yeah.
Dude, it's hard to make songs. That song that I showed you, that took like easily 2 months.
I believe it. Exactly. Months. Yep. I get it, dude. Yeah, but it sounds like it's got the love of 2 months worth of work in there.
Right?
Yes, fuck yeah.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, because it takes a long time because I'm layering it, I'm perfecting it. I have to do the drums. The drums take a long time. I have to make the riffs. I have to piece it together. I have to master it. That's that
the mix, right?
It's hard, dude. Yes, the mix is hard.
Especially when you've heard all of that stuff for so long. Holy smoke.
Yes. Then it gets like, oh God, I'm playing this song for the millionth time trying to fucking and then you have to take it to the car. That's a test.
Yeah, all that shit.
You take it to the truck. You play it in the truck and you hear one thing's a little bit too low. You're like, fuck. So I had to go back into the studio, re-edit it, go back out to the truck. And so I'm like going in and out of the truck trying to get the mix right and stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, I love doing it.
Man, we've had some great talk right here, Elijah. So let me do a little wrap and come finish up with a couple of questions. But what I mean by the wrap is, so when it comes to podcasting, it's been a while since you've done the show. Mm-hmm. Do you see yourself popping back up anytime soon?
My goal today, I was talking to my friend. I need to quit. And I'm not sure about this, but I need to quit the country club. And I need to play local courses because remember I said golf took over my life?
Yes.
It took over the podcasting too.
Yeah.
It really did. And so it did. And now I'm really loving the music right now. So I want to get back into my music and play golf like here and there. And I want to do my podcast.
All right.
This election's about to start.
Yes.
And it's going to get even crazier. And so, yes, I do see bringing back the podcast in the near future. I definitely
That's good to hear. Hell yeah. Well, in regards to that topic you were just talking about, it's a simple yes, no question. So we don't get too deep into it. But do you suspect that something could happen if Trump gets elected in November in regards to the current bosses and how they spend the next few months in power before they transfer?
If Trump were to win, they're already talking about hitting him with chingles of more lawsuits.
Right.
They're going to try and time up the courts. Some Democrats are saying they're not going to certify the election.
Heard.
Which is hilarious because they made a big old deal because they're saying Trump's not going to certify the election. And so if Trump wins, and see this, I'm scared Trump can't look. If the election was 100% real, no bullshitting, no fuckery, he would win hands down, not even close.
And we would know election night, right?
And we would know that day. When did that even start? Where they're like, "Oh, we're gonna know in 2 weeks." Like, what the fuck?
That's what the fuck exactly? Yeah, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. On its face is election meddling.
Yeah.
And so if Trump wins, I'm scared Well, actually, I'm more scared that they're gonna cheat and Kamala's gonna win, and we're gonna be stuck with her for 4 years. Like, I don't
Good
know if
answer.
I don't know if financially I can afford that. Like, I'm
I know
being
I can already.
serious, dude. I'm so scared. I'm like, oh god, if she wins, everything's gonna cost more. It's just oh,
Yeah.
and listen, if Trump does win, I'm afraid they're gonna start World War III legitimately, and they're just gonna. This is the two scenarios I think what's gonna happen. Either they're gonna cheat and Kamala wins, we'll be in hell, or Trump wins and they purposely they scorched earth. They like when Hitler was losing the war,
Yeah.
he told his this is the weird thing about the World War II. Hitler ordered the Nazis to ramp up the killing, which didn't
Yeah.
make any sense. Like, you lost the war. Why are you killing more Jews? Like, it didn't make any sense, but he did it,
Yeah.
and it was a scorched earth policy. He said, "Okay, we're gonna leave this area, burn it to the fucking ground. You're gonna leave that area, kill everybody, burn it to the ground." So as they were losing, they were just destroying everything in their path to
Yeah.
leave it in rubble. So
Ah,
what I'm afraid is going to happen is if Trump wins, they're going to go scorched earth,
I hear
and
you.
they're going to start fucking starting wars, even more wars. They're gonna provoke Putin. All they have to do is shoot one U.S. missile into Russia, and it's a wrap.
I hear.
Russia's going to snap.
I get
So
it.
those are the
Yes.
things I'm worried about. And that question, those are my scenarios that I think what's going to happen with that.
Thanks for sharing those with me, man. Hell yeah. Thank you, Elijah.
Huh.
2 other questions, real quick. So, what was your first concert?
It was Ozfest 2001 Pantera.
Oh shit!
Yes.
Godsmack on there too.
Godsmack. Yes.
I remember that one.
It was in Austin. It was at the Speedway or some shit. It was Kitty, Soulfly, Godsmack, Ozzy with Zach Wild, Pantera, POD. Man, those are the main bands.
Those are the main ones right there.
I think
Yeah,
Incubus was there
bro.
too. Incubus was there. I remember this chick got tickets, and I begged her to take me with a couple of friends, and
Yeah.
I jumped in the back of this. Dude, they squeezed me. It was like a Suburban, and
Uh-huh.
they had like big ass fucking speakers in the trunk. I was
Yeah.
between the speaker and the fucking back door,
Oh,
and I was
shit.
like this. I was like
That
this.
little spot.
Yes.
Damn.
I was that's how bad I wanted to go. I was
Fuck
wedged in
yes.
there like that, and we went all the way up there. And I just remember seeing Pantera, and it just blew my mind. And I remember
Fuck
just
yeah.
POD was badass. That was the first time I'd moshed, first time I crowd surfed. Just it
Badass.
was amazing, and I was just a kid, man, and it was so fucking. After
That
that,
was
I was like,
2001. How old were you?
dude, I was in middle school. I was born in 86, so that's 10, 14, like 15 years old, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, like 15 years old, more or less, something like that. That one, and I remember, dude, I have so many crazy concert stories, dude. Dude, my brother had this beat up fucking truck.
Uh-huh.
The one door was tied with a rope, and
That truck, okay.
And you had to get in from one side. And in my bedroom at the time, I had this tiny little cheesy futon couch, like no metal, just a cheesy little futon. We threw that bitch in the back of the truck, and we rode in the back of the truck all the way to Houston. And it was Metallica, Mudvayne, Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, and Deftones.
Oh yeah.
And dude, I was sunburned so bad, and I was like, we were just in the back of the truck, like dying. And my brother was a terrible fucking driver. I remember we had nosebleeds, and I sat, like where at the bottom seats, there's like a little passageway, and there's a guard there, like standing, so you can't go down there, right? They got to check your tickets or whatever. I sat down next to her like this, and I was watching her, and as soon as she looked that way, I fucking ran by her like that, and I ran into the pit. And then I had floor tickets the whole time. And so,
Hell
but
yes.
I was stuck there though because I couldn't come out because then they kicked me out.
Yes, you couldn't get back in. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't get back in. So I was there the whole time. My friend said they were smoking weed in the porta potty and like just doing all this crazy shit. Yeah, but yeah, I got lots of those stories, man. I've been to so many freaking concerts. It's crazy.
Yes, bro. I love Ozfest, man. I love the big shows. I miss those ones, man.
Dude, they were $50.
Yeah.
It was $50.
$50, dude. And you had a whole day's worth of shows of good bands.
Good bands. Yes.
Good bands, dude.
Really good bands. When did that change?
Everything changed after COVID. All the prices went up. Everything went up. And so, just fuck, man. You're right, dude.
Right?
Everything's so fucking expensive, man. I'm tapping into my savings. Retirement, dude. Son of a bitch, dude. I'm trying to stay afloat, but I'm making it work. I'm making it work and enjoying it all the way around, man. You know, you got to enjoy the grind. It is what we have. This is what we got to work with. Find a way to find some happiness through all this. You know what I mean? Music brings us happiness, so that's where we're able to have some mental therapy and know what the fuck is up in our world.
Yeah. Lately, I've been just trying to tell myself, you know what? Money doesn't mean shit. Like, at the base level, who cares? Like, I'll be happy if I don't worry about money. As long as my bills are paid, like, the Lord knows what I need. He'll provide that for me. Anything else is whatever. So,
man.
He knows I need my bills paid. He'll take care of me that way. And you know what? I'm just going to leave it like that because I don't need a new fancy car. I don't need to go on some crazy vacations. I just got to try to stay humble as far as like, I need more money. I need this. I'm just trying to because I'm trying not to stress myself out, basically, because it's tough, dude. It's tough.
It is, bro. You can get caught up in that really quick. Yeah. And, it's just, you gotta prioritize the most important things in your life and keep that stuff in focus and keep things in perspective too. What can I do right here? What's realistic in my window? What do I have enough money to be able to facilitate those ideas that I want to, bring to life and shit. And, I've got some plans too. So, I'm weary about what the next 3 months could or 3, 4, 5 months will have ahead. So, I'm investing in all kinds of shit, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just prep stuff. You know what I mean? I don't want to run out of I don't want to be without energy. I don't want to be without water.
Oh, you're prepping.
Prepping, man.
Oh.
It's just one of those things where I got good at it before the COVID thing hit. I was already loaded up before, the shelves started getting clear. And that's why I'm saying I'm doing it already because I want to stay ahead. And you better have it than not than when the shit hits the fan, not needed. I mean, not have that shit because it's too late by then.
I was thinking crazy. I was already telling my family, look, we're going to have to move to the woods. Like,
Tell me about it, dude.
I'm not even joking. I was like, look, okay. I started panicking, dude. I said, okay, I got a fucking bug out bag. I got med kits. I started buying straws, like these straws. Like if you say you're dying of thirst, you stick a straw into like a river or whatever.
Yeah.
When you drink it, it has like filters in it. And then you can drink like clean water. It's probably not the best, but at least you won't get dysentery and shit.
Right, dude. Exactly. I'm gonna get those too.
Yeah, they're like little straws like that. They're like this big around. They're like a straw, and it has like filters in there. And like I was getting like blankets. Like I was freaking out, dude. Yeah. I was prepared. Like, dude, no bullshit. If the food supply goes and electricity goes, it's a statistical fact. Cannibalism will happen within a few weeks.
Yeah, bro. It's gonna. You're exactly right. It sounds like it's far-fetched, but it's not, bro.
So many people will starve, dude. People think food comes from the grocery store. It fucking doesn't.
No.
You
when it's gone, it's gone.
Dude.
That's it. There's not going to be no trucks bringing more. It's gone, dude.
You see when they get over
everybody fends for themselves.
dude. They went crazy over toilet paper. Imagine if there was no meat on the fucking shelves, dude.
Right?
Water.
Holy shit! It's gonna be. It's nothing short of the Mad Max movies we've seen,
dude.
Nothing short of that.
We're like two paychecks away from a fucking revolution. Like,
tell me about it, dude.
Everybody
Right?
misses like 2 fucking paychecks. It's fucking chaos, dude.
Tell me about it. I know.
I have my guns. Okay, yeah, sorry. I can go on. That was a whole nother.
I know, bro. But let's finish on a great note right here. I'd like to finish off with a few of my choice questions and a segment I call Draw the Line. Awesome. So I'm going to give you some musicians, some bands, and you tell me who kicks ass, who's the best out of these two. Or if it's a band, if you had tickets to go see, if you can get a pair of tickets to go see one of these two bands, they're only in town for that night, who's going to miss out and who's going to get you there. So getting things started. We're going to talk about two of the greatest frontmen ever, in my opinion. Who's your favorite between James Hetfield and Dave Mustaine?
Oh, as far as a vocalist or a guitar player, or
I'm using the frontman part because I think a frontman kind of encompasses the guitar player, the singer, the way he interacts with the crowd.
Yeah. Man, I gotta say Metallica, man, because he's the one who got me playing guitar. He's the one who got me loving guitar. He's a good singer. He's not the best singer, but he's a good singer. He's a great fucking songwriter. Like, that dude can write some riffs, dude. He can write some riffs. I mean, he didn't get credit for Unforgiven 2. That's a beautiful song. He didn't get credit for No Leaf Clover. That's a beautiful song.
It's a good one, yeah.
You know, like, that song was awesome, dude. He didn't get credit for fucking I Disappear. That was a badass
That's
song.
A rocker. Fuck yeah, on a James Bond movie.
Yes.
Only the greats make James Bond movies.
Yeah, so he was a great songwriter. Megadeth, I've been listening a lot lately. They were more technical, badass, thought-out guitar solos, badass riffs, but his voice is real squeaky. He's like me. He can't fucking sing, but he makes it work. So I'll have to go with Hetfield for sure.
Hetfield. Love it. Hell yeah. Okay, next. How about these two shredders? Steve Vai versus John Petrucci.
I thought you were going to say Joe Satriani. Joe Satriani, I know this is out of pocket, but Joe Satriani is better than Steve Vai, and John Petrucci is better than Steve Vai, but Joe Satriani is incredible writing melodies, and John Petrucci is the king of like time signature prog.
Yes.
If that makes sense. So if I had to pick, I would go with John Petrucci because I have Dream Theater tattooed on my leg. I use all of I have the fucking Dream Theater guitar. I have the Dream Theater plugins. His gear is fucking amazing. His guitar is the best guitar I've ever played in my life. Like, for real. Dude, it was expensive.
Oh, how much was it?
It was $3,300.
Damn.
I don't regret it, not one bit, dude. I love that guitar.
Yeah.
I love that guitar. So I had to go with Petrucci for sure. But I do have every single Joe Satriani CD. Huge. Joe's great. I love Joe, dude. He's a great fucking melody writer, man. I love Joe.
I love him, man. Ever since I heard, Surfing with the Alien, dude. And me, I always love Always With You, Always With Me. Yeah, I love that jam. That's so badass. Yeah. And I was lucky to see him jamming with fucking Sammy Hagar just a few months ago, dude.
What?
Dude. He was fucking so badass, dude. All the Eddie Van Halen shit to
You went to the Van Halen show?
Yes, fuck yes, dude. It was incredible, dude.
Oh, best of both worlds, right?
Jason Bonham on drums, but Satch, dude. I mean, Satch, he did Satch Boogie.
Oh, really? That's a great song. That's a great song.
Yeah.
Is that the only Satriani song they played?
Yeah, that's the only Satch.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Where did you see that?
But he got some love, you know what I mean? But he was a showman just like Eddie was, dude. He didn't miss a note. He would just own the stage. Awesome show.
He's another one of those guys who's a master at guitar playing. He's not riffing. He knows every single note on the guitar. He knows every chord. He knows all his modes. He knows all his scales, how they relate to the chords. He
Yes.
definitely knows his shit. Like I've
It's,
watched a lot of, yeah, he
he's a
knows.
real doctor, the
Yeah,
professor.
yes,
Wow.
I love Joe. Yeah,
Love you, Joe. Hell yeah. Okay, so next one. How about these two metal heavyweights with, they always have to have shredders in the band. And I'm talking about Testament versus Megadeth.
Oh, see, because to be honest with you, I've maybe heard. I don't even know if I've ever heard a Testament song.
Get the fuck out of here.
I've never heard a Testament song.
Oh shit. Okay, all right. Well, I appreciate the honesty. That's all
Yeah,
good.
I have. I know who they are. Was Kirk Hammett in Testament?
Kirk was in Exodus before he joined
Exodus. That's right,
Metallica,
Exodus.
but they were all homeboys there. They're in,
Yeah.
in that Orange County, California. I want to say, I'm trying to think of the area that Testament was from, that Chuck Billy and his boys were from.
Probably
It was
New
right.
York or something, or the East Coast, or because
It was right there off the West Coast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they were gigging with Exodus and Death Angel right at the get go at Ruthie's Inn. The early Bay Area thrash bands.
Death Angel. Okay.
No, great bands though. Okay, so yeah, Megadeth all day on that one.
I want to say, okay, quick story. Okay, Nevermore. You ever heard of Nevermore?
Of course.
I love fucking Nevermore.
Yeah, they're bad.
They're so fucking good. I would pick Nevermore over Megadeth for sure. And no, that hurts.
Okay.
Hey,
great vocalist too on that one.
Yeah,
right
dude. Warrell Dane,
yeah.
Dude. You want to get some vocal lessons? That dude. He was like an opera singer or something. That dude was good.
He was a shit. Right. Hell yeah. Okay, next two.
Oh, well, real quick.
Okay.
Jeff Loomis tried out for Megadeth, the guitar player from Nevermore, and Dave Mustaine told him, "No, you're too good. Go do your own thing." I'm serious.
You're good, man.
He said, "You're not gonna." He said, "You're not. No, dude. Go do your own shit." And he started Nevermore.
He's like, I need somebody else. He got Nevermore.
I'm glad he told him that, dude, because Nevermore is fucking sick. I love it.
They are sick. Fuck yeah. Shout out to Nevermore. Yes. Well, how about these two 90 hard heavy hitters? Tool versus Soundgarden.
Oh, that's not even close. Tool
all day. Okay, all right.
Well, Soundgarden, I would pick over Soundgarden. What was his side project?
Perfect Circle.
No, Soundgarden side project. Temple of the Dog.
That was Audio Slave.
No, remember Temple of the Dog with the Hunger
that
song?
one. Yeah, Temple of the
Dog. That's a great album. With
it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
That had Steve Cornell and a couple of other guys from Soundgarden. Temple of the Dog. That was a bad album. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I can never get enough Chris Cornell, man. He's just one of the best voices ever.
Dude,
ever,
you
man.
Love, Temple of the Dog was
solo
work. Yeah, he did Temple of the Dog. They did one album. Remember that I'm Going Hungry?
Yes. Fuck yeah.
That song's on that album. That's a great fucking album.
It's a banger. Big time.
Yeah.
Okay, how about I got two more for you, okay? How about Pantera versus Slayer?
Oh. Now that's a tough one.
That's a good one right there.
That's a tough one. I would have to go Pantera solely because Dimebag made the most impossible, unique guitar solos I've ever heard in my life.
Yes. All right.
He didn't play any scales. He didn't play. Nobody could do that. Like, name one guy who solos like Dimebag.
I know, right?
Nobody soloed like that.
He's our Eddie Van Halen, man.
Yeah,
our generation.
Slayer, I fucking love Slayer too. But their solos, I was never like, I want to learn that solo. Because it's just
no shit. I never heard anybody ever say that about a Slayer solo ever.
Yeah, like, no one was like,
the best fucking solo, dude, you're right.
Yeah. No one was like, that Slayer solo was killer. It was money like the fucking song was killer, the riffs, but it was never like the solos. But Dimebag had the solos.
Yeah.
And of course, Slayer, my favorite Slayer album is Christ Illusion.
Ooh, Christ Illusion.
Dude,
all right.
Holy shit, dude. That fucking album is so
an underrated album right there.
It's so underrated, dude. If you listen to that CD today, dude, I don't know what kind of shit they were on, but those riffs are so low and so fucking heavy, dude. Like the song Christ Illusion and just all those songs, dude. Like, wow, man, that was a banger. Yeah,
they were just doing some
Christ
crazy
Illusion.
shit, man. Because that was in the '90s where grunge was around,
Mhm.
and they wanted to kind of tap into the bands, tap into the lower tunings, like a lot of those bands were doing, and finding their niche to see if they they wanted to be able to run in the fields with all these guys and kind of be kind of like be the Metallica of that, you know what I mean? The band that would kind of do it before everybody else and kind of set the standard for them.
I think Korn, when they got those 7 strings, they were sounding low as fuck, and I think bands started hearing that like, dude. And so if you listen,
I think Korn might have been the first.
Yeah, if you listen to Christ Illusion, the guitars are tuned down like a step and a half, like they're super low, and they're using like drop D tuning and stuff. And that I don't know why that album, I freaking love that album. It's awesome. It's underrated, like you said. Like Christ Illusion, which one was that? Like most people don't even know. Like the kind of everyone knows South of Heaven and Abyss and Show No Mercy, but Christ Illusion was my favorite. That one's sick.
Tight. Hey, I love that. Okay, last one. You're 2 heavy hitters right here. Dream Theater versus Opeth. Who gets you to go see them?
Oh, if I had to pick?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Who's the better of those two?
I've seen Opeth like 5 times. Me and Brian used to take buses to go see Opeth. We took a fucking train to go see Opeth. If I had to pick today, damn. I almost want to say Opeth.
Opeth, all right.
Dude, Opeth live is something to see, dude.
It is, bro.
There's something to see, dude.
I've only caught them when they played here and when Megadeth brought them down.
Sounds of the Underground, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
or Gigantour.
Right. Yes, there you go, dude. That was like my favorite fucking band to see live, dude. Because they're so heavy. Their songs are like 8-9 minutes each. The freaking riffs are so good. The cleans, like their clean solos and riffs.
Yeah.
It sounds so amazing.
So live. Good. Yeah.
Yeah. I heard James LeBray from Dream Theater today. I was listening to it. Like they just did their first show back today. And the singer sounds bad.
Oh no.
He can't do it no more, dude. Like, because if you listen to Dream Theater, dude, the vocals are like way like that. Yes. High. And you could tell he was like, oh, like couldn't do it.
Oh, yeah. That's the hard part about being that singer, man. For a guitar player, you can still hit those notes and feel and do the bends and the hammers, but as a singer, shit, eventually you lose it.
I know. That's how I felt bad for him. I'm like, fuck. Like they just started their big reunion tour with Mike Portnoy.
It's huge.
And I heard the fucking singer, and I'm like, fuck.
Hopefully he sounds better by the time you see him, man.
Well, look at Vince Young or Vince Neil. He can't do it no more. He can't do it.
Yeah.
All the guys that used to hit those high notes back in the day.
Yeah.
They're struggling these days, man.
They're screwed now, bro.
Yeah, they're screwed.
They're screwed. Even me seeing Sammy Hagar. Sammy knew what was up, so that's why he tags with Michael Anthony. Michael Anthony can still hit those notes.
Really?
Yeah. So when they were doing some of the Halen songs that were just high, it was all Michael Anthony.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, but it was still Van Halen. You know what I mean? Because back then that's who was doing it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
go ahead.
But the notes that you were used to hearing Sammy hit, some of those high ones, was Michael Anthony covering it.
You're waiting for him to do it, and he doesn't do it because they're just like I guess they can't, dude. It's got to be hard.
Exactly. I'm sure they've been to the rehearsals already. It's like, you know what? You take care of that line. All right, I got you, Sammy.
You know what I thought would be cool? When I was watching that Dream Theater video? Why don't they just write almost like a new lyric, like a new vocal line, or like sing it an octave lower or something?
Yes.
Like to maybe help their voice because they can't hit those octaves that high. Maybe just hit the same note, but a couple octaves lower.
Yeah, bro.
Right? Like that. Maybe that's
a great idea. That's what my guys teach. Steve from Fistful of Metal and like Benjamin and the AC/DC bands. They tell me, hey, you know what? try singing it a little octave lower. I'm going to tune down a half a step. I think it's going to make it a little easier for you to sing.
Yeah.
And fucking A, it helps me, man. It fucking helps. I'm like, dude, you're badass. Thank you. I needed that. You know, and me not knowing guitar that well, I couldn't recommend that. I don't know that part. But them being around, there's like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna try and half step. Try singing a half step lower, and we'll try it again and let's see how you sound. And be like, oh, dude, that's better for me. Hell yeah.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. A lot of bands, you don't realize it, but they are a step lower too, because it's hard to freaking hit those notes, man.
It
just is.
You're lucky to be able to hit them in the studio when it came to
No
recording
shit.
them. And so after that, you know, when you're doing that shit live, you're like, oh fuck, this is that song, because that's how I hear some of these songs. You know, when I do Epic from Faith No More, you know, there's not really some high notes in there, but he does some weird things, you know, in the chorus and stuff that only he does that are challenging, to say the least.
Definitely.
You know, so. But yeah, dude, you these guys, it's not by it's all done by design. It's all by design. You know, these guys at Dream Theater and Opeth, they know where their strengths are, and they're gonna keep it where they need to be, so that way they can fucking kill it and always be able to do it live. And you know, as far as Dream Theater, you know, those
he couldn't do it, dude.
He couldn't do it, bro. Goddamn.
And almost it sounded like he didn't even try. Like he wanted to do it, but he was like, "Nah, fuck it." Like, you know, like what I was saying earlier, when Dimebag wants you to just fucking like try to do it, and if you fail, that's fine. But he wasn't even like
he didn't try.
Yeah, he wasn't even trying. He's like, fuck.
Well, hey, Elijah, thank you so much, dude. That was the last one I had on Draw the Line, dude. I love closing out with that because it kind of just gets us back to some of our favorite bands, and I get to pick your brain and get some whys behind some of these bands being your favorite.
Yeah, it's cool. You hit me with bands that you know I like Opeth and Dream Theater and shit like that. I'm like, yeah, that's a good question. That's great,
Thank you, brother. Hey, I've had a great time, dude, having you on the show.
Fun.
I loved hearing about, you know, the podcasting, some of your greatest the people that you've had on, some of the people you still would love to have on. And thanks for you know, indulging in my my little political question right there. And you know, I'm a lot like you. We've hung out before, and we see things so much through the same lens.
Yeah.
And we fear about the same things, and we're concerned about the same things. And what I want to finish off on is that I just hope that one way or another, we all are graced by God's blessing.
Yes.
Because in no matter how things end up, we're all his kids, and one way or another, I hope that we can make him proud, and that he can keep blessing us and our family for you know, many more days to come. And I hope that God blesses America, and people get out there and vote. You got to make it happen. Make it happen. So Elijah, thank you, brother. Thanks for being on the show today. And learned a lot of cool stuff, especially about how you put things together for your own music and the fire that goes into that magic, brother.
Thank you, man. I just want to tell you, Tony, thank you for having me on the show. I was hoping one day I'd be able to do it, and I didn't even have to ask. You just asked me, so that's awesome. And thank you for putting me on for shows too, man. Like, you were, when we got Empyreal going, you were the first band to say, "Hey, dude, come play the show."
Yeah.
And it was just, I appreciate that, man. And just from seeing you play on the big stage at Concrete, hanging out with you in the crowds when I was just a kid, and you didn't even know who I was, but I was like, "Oh shoot, that's the guy from Corpus, Tony. That's crazy." And just now hanging out with you and talking to you and jamming with you, it's an honor, man. I appreciate it.
That means a lot, Elijah. Thank you so much, brother.
Yes, sir.
Let's keep in touch. And I love the music, so keep sharing me your tracks as they come up. Awesome. And we'll have to do the show again, all right?
Okay, just real quick, I'll say you can find my podcast at Lizard News Network, and I have the music under the label The Created.
The Creative.
The Created. Yeah.
The Created.
Yeah, because we're all created, and the things that we make are created, and we are the universe, and the universe is in us, and we're in this weird, the universe is alive through us, and we're just all created in God's image. Everything's,
Yes.
God, we're all living in a creation. We're in this weird creation. That's all I know.
That's
I don't know what
right.
the answers are, but we're in it.
Hell yeah. So you guys check out the Lizard News Network. Give it a like, give it a follow, and look up his music. You definitely need to get that going. I'm going to cut us off. See you next time on the Tony Gomez Show.